Girl, it is so hard for me with my hair, especially campaigning for re-election. So, I have to have a style that I can just wrap up and take down and don't have to do much with, because I don't know how to do my hair anyway. All that is, maintenance free or minimal maintenance, because sometimes it might take me longer to get back to the salon because I don't let anything stop me from serving the people.
As you shouldn't, I'm telling you.
I have so much going on in my district. I normally have an Atlanta Senior Beltline tour because once they started building the Atlanta Beltline, it was a negative thing to our seniors. They were telling me so much wrong information that they had about it. They thought it was going to disconnect the neighborhoods and separate people instead of bringing people together. So I made it my business to contact the Atlanta Beltline and partner with them on providing a senior Beltline tour. And what we do is we get on a nice, wonderful bus that has, weird wheelchair accessibility. I serve a light breakfast, a lunch, and we ride that whole Beltline. They get to see all types of affordable housing that's been developed on the Beltline. They get to hear about the Small Business Incubator Program. They get to see what's upcoming, and they get to hear about all the free activities and different things that are going on the Beltline that they can have access to. And it becomes such a fun ride because many of our seniors are legacy residents in Atlanta, so they start telling us stories about the places that we see along the Beltline, and it becomes a very engaging conversation, and we start to learn things from the seniors as we ride that Beltline.
Nice. So
that's something I offer often, and apparently not often enough, because I went to one senior center and the lady said, "Oh, Commissioner Hall, your senior Beltline tour fills up faster than Beyonce sells her tickets. You need to add some more rides, or you need to add some buses or something." So I'm so happy for my friendship and partnership with Michael Davis, who's one of the VPs over at the Atlanta Beltline Partnership, which is just the nonprofit arm to Atlanta Beltline Inc. He said, "You know what, Commissioner, we're going to help you add more rides," and that's exactly what he did. So we have many more rides from May up until December of this year, where our seniors can get on the bus and we can have us a good time.
Commissioner Hall, you sound like Mother Teresa. I love it.
I have so many priorities. People try to ask, what are your top 3 priorities? I don't have a top 3 because my approach to serving is holistic. And I believe that the people in Fulton County, and especially my district, District 4, deserve a holistic approach to serving. So, let's start with one of the number 1 topics of this year, the jail overcrowding, just the Fulton County jail period. We need a new jail. And I want to be very clear about this because for those who know me, they know that I was the chief of staff to the late Fulton County Commissioner Joan P. Garner for the entire 6 years that she was elected. And that was from 2011 until 2017, when unfortunately she passed away from cancer. But even during that period of time, we were dealing with challenges at the jail. It's just that social media has taken over and things are more publicized than they used to be. Things are shared faster and wider than ever before. It's not that these issues are new. These are issues that have been taking place, and I've been stopped by chairwoman of Henry County, chairwomen of Gwinnett and Cobb and other commissioners around the state of Georgia, and they have said to me, "Your challenges are no different from what we're experiencing at our jails. It's just that someone is publicizing yours more out to the media and the news and making a big deal out of it." So yes, we absolutely need a new jail. The history that I was told about the jail was that when it was open, when they cut the ribbon to open the doors, it was already beyond capacity.
Yeah.
Wow. It was already too small. And so now we're seeing the jail is crumbling. It is falling apart to the if you look at the news, the sheriff brought wheelbarrows full of shanks, knives, weapons that were made with pieces of the building.
And honestly, in this neighborhood, we for that outreach, because they built a new park over here where it looks like it was, a good thing on one end, but there was still guns and violence and shooting. And when the younger generation decides they don't care about going to jail, and now that is an issue with the overcrowding, and now it's no more of a youth centers, or a lot of times just, maybe in the city of Atlanta, but throughout Fulton County, I know I can't even name off the top of my head, but I know over time, I know all this, come back together, but I know that has been a big issue, especially in this neighborhood.
Yes, it has, and I just want to say 2 different approaches that need to be had: pre-arrest diversion and behavioral health and mental health care.
Absolutely.
Mental health in the Black community is still a stigma, and we need to just let people know it's healthcare. It's still just healthcare.
Right.
Pre-arrest diversion, that I'm big on that. That's something that we absolutely need to deter our young people, to give them the wraparound services and programs that they need to get them off the streets and get them into more productive environments, into jobs and other things that they can do instead of being on these streets doing mischief. So I've always given money to pre-arrest diversion. There was lovingly called PAD. Fulton County and the city of Atlanta came together and created an initiative a few years ago. And every year I would sponsor additional funding to go to that initiative. And so we need to continue this. The sheriff has talked to me. We've talked about pre-arrest diversion, and he's literally invited that organization into the jail so that there's a way to funnel out those who really don't belong there. So there are a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that people do not know, and they don't ask. And I'm pleading with people: ask the question. Don't assume. Don't just go off of what you're hearing. Ask the person. I know I do. My chief of staff, Anita Harris, she's always like, I cannot believe that you just go and ask people, but if you don't ask, you won't know.
Right.
And ask the hard questions. So pre-arrest diversion, and then mental health.
Right.
I do not believe that anyone who's having a mental health crisis belongs in jail. That is not where they belong.
I did just tell a client that and it's so unfortunate because, a lot of times they go constantly. It was a situation over here where a guy, because of mental health, he didn't care about going to jail. And that's where it becomes now, sadly, someone dies based off of not knowing somebody was mental health, and you put them amongst everybody.
Yeah.
So it's definitely that has been a major issue over here as far as mental health, because they get in fights, they go to jail, then they go in fights again, and it becomes an ongoing thing, which is very unfortunate. And a lot of times, we want to see our community grow and people to, get bigger than their environment. And it's just a constant cycle that we constantly, especially when it comes to mental health. Mm-hmm. Even if it's a way where I always say mental health Mondays. Unfortunately, when Walmart closed down, a lot of people were sad about that, but I knew that it was a lot of, homeless, and it was a lot of mental health, and it was a lot of trash everywhere. And then once they kind of calmed down, trash has been, completely, the street has been more clean, completely just even the area hasn't been so overly congested. And now we're slowly opening Walmart back up for just groceries, which is a plus because we definitely needed that in this area.
Yes.
But now adding to that, just kind of opening more businesses, cleaning up the street. Hopefully we are gearing to making this area everything.
Well, one thing that I want to say about that is, they don't need to be in jail, but what I'm proud of is that we're actually opening a behavioral health crisis center right in my district. If you know about the Oak Hill Child, Family, and Adolescent Health Center at 2805 Metropolitan Parkway, that is where we are building it. 48,000 square feet, 25 beds, 16 observation chairs, and it's going to be the most beautiful thing. We will be opening at the end of spring or beginning of summer of this year. Wow. So I'm very proud of this because this is something that we have talked about and worked on since back when I was chief of staff to Commissioner Garner. They will be able to be taken there 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year by ambulance, brought in by a family or friend, or even if the police get what's called a 1013, they will be able to bring them to the Behavioral Health Crisis Center instead of taking them to jail. So I'm very proud of this finally coming to fruition.
So question, how can we address homelessness in Fulton County?
Well, the way that I address homelessness in Fulton County, in my district specifically, is I get phone calls, emails, text messages. I've even had people comment on my social media posts and say, you know, there's a lady who's living in her car with her children, can you help? And I immediately go into Messenger and tell them, call me or email me. And what people don't know is Fulton County has a homelessness division, and it is one of the best. We provide hotel stays, temporary housing, permanent housing, food. We have some of the best partners in the nonprofit arena who also assist us in providing those services and programs to the homeless. And I want to, I want to call them the unhoused because people have put a stigma on the word homelessness or homeless. They're just simply our residents who are unhoused, and they need to be treated as human beings like everyone else. We have the best services because we put funding behind our homeless division to ensure that people get the services that they need. And with this new Behavioral Health Crisis Center, we're going to be able to do even more.
How can we keep libraries a vital part of the community?
Well, Fulton County recently received millions and millions of dollars in bonds, and we use those bonds to actually renovate every single one of our libraries and then reopen them to the public. Yes, and so as you move around, yes,
I did.
But did you know that your library card also provides you with many more benefits other than just checking out books?
What?
Yes, you can get free music, free movies. You can even take a family of four, up to 4 people to special attractions all around Atlanta and even the state of Georgia.
What?
Yes, you just simply take your library card to your local library and tell them that you'd like to know which free passes are available that day. You can go to the zoo for free, the Center for Puppetry Arts for free, the Children's Museum. You can go, there's even a museum in Macon that you can go to for free. And there are a lot of other free special attractions and discounted special attractions that you can go to with your library card. But even more so, you can have access to legal documents and just so many resources available just through that one library.
To the beauty industry. We're located at 901 Martin Luther King. Our second location is located at 2491 Martin Luther King. Don't forget early voting. Don't forget to vote May 17th, last day of early voting. And don't forget election day is May 21st. Thank you again, Natalie Hall.
Thank you.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you so much.
Vote Natalie Hall.
Vote Natalie Hall.